Buckeye Nation? What's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with a very special video on this Tuesday night. As you look at the title and you look at the headline down below, you already know what's about to go down. As just a little while ago, the College Football Playoff Committee officially released the first edition of the 2025 College Football Playoff Rankings. And of course, we're going to look and see where they got Ohio State because that's what everyone is wondering, right? And of course, I'm going to look at the bracket too to see who Ohio State would face if the college football playoff started tomorrow. So, with that being said, before I get into it, be sure as always to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. We're trying to get this channel popping off as, of course, we're getting into the good part of the college football season, right? Getting to the end of the regular season, and hopefully we get to see a Ohio State Big Ten Conference Championship game birth here soon. It's been a while, you know. In fact, they haven't made it since I made this channel. I would like to see us get in to the Big Ten championship game and hopefully get our lick back against those damn Oregon Ducks, right? So with that being said, let's take a look at the first rankings that were released just a little while ago by the committee. And right away, number 1, Oregon, no surprise. Number 2, Ohio State. All right. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, Miami, Florida. So far, no really interesting surprises. Everything's going as you'd expect, right? Top 5 are all really, really good teams. Texas, number 5. Penn State, number 6. Tennessee, number 7. Indiana, number 8. BYU, number 9. Notre Dame, number 10. Alabama, somehow still in the running. They're in 11th, of course. I think they're literally in just because of the reputation. Like, they kind of stink, right? They have, 2 losses this year? 1 more and they're done. So they're literally dangling off the edge right now. I think everyone wants them to lose just so they'd stay out of the playoff. For real. I mean, we all remember a couple years ago when they were literally begging the committee to get them into the playoff. Remember that? That was, they were down so bad with that whole thing, right? But then you have Boise State at 12. They would get in as the lone group of 5 team. And then just outside looking in, you'd have SMU, Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Pitt, Kansas State, Colorado. Then you have Washington State, Louisville, Clemson, Mizzou, and Army. Imagine if somehow, some way, Army made the college football playoff. Just imagine that, right? Like seeing a military academy in the college football playoff, knowing that they actually have a chance to win a national championship. Obviously, it'd be insanely unlikely. But just imagine real quick how awesome that would be, right? Just seeing a military academy in the college football playoff. That would just be a sight to behold. And we would all be able to thank the expanded playoff field for that. Now, looking at the bracket, first round matchups, of course, they would be played at the higher seeds campus. So Indiana would have to go to Neyland to face Tennessee. That would be a good game. Boise would have to come to the Horseshoe to face Ohio State. So Buckeye fans, we would be able to get a up close and personal look at a Heisman contender in Ashton Jaunty. That running back that stands like Michael Myers in the backfield. Notre Dame would go to Happy Valley to face Penn State. And then Alabama would go to Texas to face the Longhorns. Honestly, I see 4 interesting matchups, but you look at Ohio State's matchup, I think we'd be able to handle Boise. If we stop Jaunty, yeah, I think we'd be able to handle him no problem. And then, of course, the winner of Indiana, Tennessee would get Oregon. The winner of Boise and Ohio State would get BYU. Miami would face Alabama, Texas. And then Georgia would get Notre Dame or Penn State. So you look at it like this: to get to the Final Four, Ohio State would have to go through Boise, BYU, and either Oregon, Indiana again, or Tennessee. Like I said in my Oregon preview video a few weeks ago, I said that was the first of possibly 2 or 3 matchups. Imagine facing a team not once, not twice, 3 times. And 2 of them would be on a neutral site, or at a neutral site, on a neutral field. Of course, you'd have the conference championship game on a neutral field, and then you'd have the college football playoff semifinal with a chance to go to the national championship on the line. Damn, it's crazy. I could just see it now. Ohio State and Oregon on one side, and then let's say Georgia versus somehow Alabama on the other. Because of course, right? Of course, that's what we'd get. Either SEC and Big Ten. You'd be guaranteed an SEC Big Ten national championship. Or like, what if we get Miami versus Oregon? God, that would probably be one of the most toxic weeks, like leading up to the national championship game we've ever seen on college football Twitter. Because 2 of the loudest fan bases on social media going at it. Oh, this one: BYU versus Notre Dame. The Catholics versus the Mormons. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Oh, how about this one? Tennessee versus Texas. Nothing but orange. Oh, my God. I mean, you could also see like Boise versus like Miami or Georgia, Penn State. Well, how about this one? Ohio State, Penn State. For all the marbles. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Tennessee versus Texas, like I said. Alabama versus Oregon. Just so many potential matchups. Well, how about this one? You want to talk about utter chaos? Go back to the rankings. Imagine if somehow, some way, Colorado slips into the college football playoff. Oh my God. Wow. Talk about a casual ass fan base. Now, I mean, I respect the OG Colorado fans, the ones that have been there forever. But now, with Dion showing up, you get this like little section of the fan base that's essentially just Dion stands. Like they couldn't tell you anything about Colorado Buffalo football history, but they're all Colorado buffs, right? But of course, the moment Dion dips, they'd follow him. And all of a sudden, Colorado would once again become irrelevant. But, their fan base always says, oh, he ain't leaving. He ain't leaving. He ain't leaving. All right. That's what us Ohio fans were talking about when it comes to LeBron James back in 2010, right? Yeah. Oh. Well, he ain't leaving us. What'd he do? He left. Right? Yeah. Had to get a little off topic, but if there's one team I really want to see somehow slip in, it'd be probably Colorado. You know, just because, that'd be interesting to see how Shador and them would take, the sudden increase in essential, like, the lights being brighter. Because, I mean, the lights are already kind of bright for them, but you make the CFB playoff, those lights get turned on times 1,000. Right? I mean, they're always on national television, but you make the college football playoff, even more people are gonna be watching you, right? Man, I think either them or honestly Wazoo. I'd be awesome to see Washington State make it. You know, because they're right now one of the only Pac-2 teams. Although I'm guessing that the current, the new Big 12 teams like Colorado and them, I think they would still be classified as Pac-12 for this bowl season. So, yeah. But of course, Colorado would be in the Big 12 title game. But when it comes to bowl games, I guess they're classified as Pac-12. It's weird. It's complicated. But that's with all this realignment, that's what's been brought up. So, yeah. Honestly, I would love to see either Army, Wazoo, or Colorado somehow slip in, but we already know there's probably not going to be any of those, underdog teams slipping in. I mean, we'll see what happens with SMU. It'd be cool to see them get in, you know. But right now, the underdog teams would be BYU and Boise, right? Then you'd have like all the big fish with those two little minnows. We'll see what happens though, right? But that's a look at the standings. And then, of course, the bracket. I think Ohio State would have a relatively easy road to the college football playoff national semifinal. Of course, I'm not going to overlook Boise because they have a damn good running back. But other than him, I don't think they really have anybody that would scare us. And then BYU, I don't really watch them a lot. So I'd have to really read up on them heading into that game. But we faced them before, way back in the 90s. But yeah, Yep, that's all I got, guys. So as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. And we're trying to get this channel to turn up. Get me like around 200 subs by, I'll say the end of the year would be lit. Especially with these playoff games coming up, right? But still got a long way to go in this season. Got 4 games left for us. Got Purdue, Northwestern, Indiana, and then the game. And you already know the rankings are going to shake up a lot. We might even see some more new faces pop in, right? And we could see some of these teams that you see right here drop out. Maybe Alabama loses that 3rd game and they fall off a cliff, and then they're replaced with maybe SMU or Texas A&M, right? Maybe Colorado wins out and they jump into the rankings and they really make some noise. That'd be interesting though, right? But that's all I got here, guys. And with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. And I will, of course, have my Purdue Ohio State game preview out on Friday, as always. And with that being said, go Bucks. I'm Crazy Dog. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye.